I can record. Yes.
Hello and welcome to my discussion with Brigitte Madeline Van Baren, Chair, Living Peace Projects Foundation. Dear friends, my name is Ghulam Rasool Dehlvi, and I am a young ambassador of the Living Peace Projects based in the Netherlands. I had an opportunity, a beautiful opportunity to participate in the UN World Water Day organized by the Living Peace Projects Foundation in Amritsar at Golden Temple, where I met Brigitte Madeline Van Baren, whom I dearly call Bridge because she is building bridges between different faith traditions in order to uphold the noble cause of living peace and living water. So now the next event is the 8th Living Water for All Leadership Forum in Rishikesh, which will bring together spiritual leaders, government officials, water specialists, educators, and young generation youth leaders to raise awareness on the importance of healthy water by initiating educational water projects. So, my question is the first question that I would like to ask you, Bridget, is why do you think living water is important to achieve peace at a time when the world, our planet, our people are in crisis? You know, soaring flood, ravaging, devastating climate, and all that these natural calamities. I'm in New York right now, and I had, an experience of flooding today in New York. It was storm and great flooding, which caused massive traffic jams all around. So, why do you think water is important to achieve peace, stability, and harmony in our life? Could you please share your vision on this?
Yes, I think that our understanding of water somehow is disturbed. So our connection with the water is disturbed. So in earlier times, we understood somehow, we had a sense organ to understand the message from water, but we lost that connection. And it's not only about the quantity of water, which is, only 0.5% of all the water available on Earth is only 0.5% available for drinking water. But it's also the quality of the water. So, and we are water. So we are for 70%, we are water. And by not caring for the water inside and outside of us, it brings a lot of disbalance. So my mission is to get and raise awareness on the importance of our living water resources. That means of our natural water resources, like from the rivers, from the mountains, but especially also from the heaven, the rainwater. And because if water is cleaned, chemically, it looks like healthy water, but it's lifeless water. So the chemical structure, molecule structure is still in the water. So natural water resources contain a harmonious molecule structure, which is good for us inside and outside of us. And I believe that if we restore our connection with the water, and that we will regenerate also the connection with ourselves. So we not only lost the connection with the water, but we also lost the connection with our heart. So I have two missions: to connect with the water inside and outside of us, and to connect with the heart, which forms the gate towards the water. And that's my statement: living water brings peace into our hearts and into the world. So if we are connected with the living water, we can create peace in this world.
Indeed, this is a beautiful pledge that you have made through this statement. And now I would like to understand how to raise awareness and in education campaigns, including school programs for water conservation and reduced water pollution. What is your take on this?
So I visioned that rain harvesting is a very important instrument combined with education. So up till now, a lot of rain harvesting projects have been initiated, but I envisioned an educational water project which includes the 3 cycles: the water cycle, the sun cycle, and the sanitation cycle. And with the engineers of Delft, we developed an educational building, which is called Living Cycles, pointing out these 3 cycles.
Wow.
Which is not only rain harvesting the water, the rain, which is then also harmonious and purified in a natural way. But also, this whole building is like a practical educational instrument.
Great.
This will be built next to schools, and the first building is being completed in the monastery of Palpung Sherabling Monastic Seat. And the next building will be launched at our event with the first stone, the first step in Parmat Nikitan in Rishikesh. And our vision is to build and to construct and to raise funds for the next coming 100 buildings. But also under the leadership of our spiritual leaders from different traditions. So the founding fathers will take responsibilities of this educational instrument. So it will be, in that sense, also have the ownership of the founding fathers. It's their joint and mutual project, educational water project.
Amazing. Now, let's understand how to raise awareness on the importance of water from natural resources.
Yes, I also thought about that item. And a few years ago, actually in 2018, I think, we had a peace, we organized a number of peace pilgrimages, actually to present and to show an active form of peace by visiting the sacred sites around the world. With the spiritual leaders together from different traditions, and join hands and standing around the tree of life, which is the water, the living water. So the first one, the first actually merging ceremony we held was in Assisi in 2018, where we merged the water from Mother Ganga, from Ma Ganga, with the water from the sacred water from Greenland. And last year we had a leadership forum in the International Peace Palace in The Hague in the Netherlands. And I asked all the spiritual leaders to collect water from their sacred water source, video record it, and bring it into the International Peace Palace. And there we merged 18 sacred water sources, blessed and sealed and harmonized. After this ceremony, you can't say this is the Rhine or this is the Nile, this is Zamzam. It's all merged into one to symbolize that we are one human family. And out of this, I designed a water jewel, a living water jewel, with the intention, I look at here, with the intention that that when you wear this on your heart, you will reconnect your connection with the living water sources of the sacred water sources. But not only that, you will connect with all those who around you wear this water jewel close to your heart. So I asked the spiritual leaders and the founding fathers, I gave them this water jewel and asked them to wear it close to their heart. And I said, can you imagine if you are wearing it and your disciples and friends are wearing it, then we get all aligned on the same frequency, building a heart community.
Absolutely. I see you have invited the spiritual leaders of all faith traditions, Hindu, Muslim, Sufi, Sikh, Buddhist, and Jain, as well as the native spiritual leader, Chief Orwell Looking Horse. So, what do you think is the role of spiritual leaders, and what can they, what role can they play in the water issue?
I think a very important role, because they have a life mission, all of them. And they have a large community of students, disciples, devotees, clan members. And I believe that, although I don't know exactly the numbers, but I still believe that around 90% of the world population somehow has a belief, a spiritual background.
Absolutely.
Of course, I come from the Netherlands. That's not the case in the Netherlands. But actually, we are the ones who are not stepping in line with the world community. And so, if you are in the diplomacy or politics, it's more short term. But they are for long term. So they are looking far ahead, also to the future generation. And I think it's very important to include the young generation, because they will feel more and most the urgency to change awareness. And because it's their future. And without water, no life. Without water, no peace. So water will be the main and most important issue of the coming years. So to create this awareness, but not only that, to putting words into action by these educational water projects. Not only this instrument from this construction of the living cycles, but also this book, which they wrote together, all the spiritual leaders together, which will be presented in Rishikesh in 8 different languages. So the children will not only learn about their water source, their sacred water source, but all these 18 sacred water sources which are described in this book.
I have noticed 2 important things in your conversation. One, merging all into one through living water, and through the jewel, you often highlight the spiritual oneness. And 2, putting all the ideas of beautiful ideas, inclusive ideas of all faith traditions into action. So could you please explain your statement or your vision of living water for living peace from this perspective.
You put it into action, you mean?
And merging all into one.
And merging all into one. So, in fact, we think we are different beings. But the fact is that we looking from a different or the wrong perspective. We think we are a body with feelings and emotion, but actually, in the first place, we are formless presence. And more important, we are energetic water beings. We are more water than anything else. And
Absolutely.
water has the tendency to go beyond its boundaries, to merge with other waters, with the ocean, with other rivers. As we are water, we have the tendency to go beyond our boundaries in our heart. When we love someone, someone can be on a distance, but that person is very close in our heart. So the connection with the water and the heart is also a merging process. And the merging from the water, even in our breath is water. So the more I speak with you, the energy and the water merges between us. So it is even, stated by some researchers from Japan that our thoughts have an impact and a relation to the water. So if I have positive thoughts, my positive thoughts are getting poured into your being by talking to you, and vice versa. So we can think we are different beings, and we can think in separation. And our head tells us that we are separate because we have our own thoughts, we have our own emotions, we have our own feelings. But in the greater perspective, there's no separation. So what I do in a positive way will affect the whole web of humanity. And what I do in a negative way will have an effect on the web of the whole humanity. And we forget that because we are not aware that in fact there is no separation. So
Absolutely.
as shaman said once, the greatest distance is not from India to New York, but from our head to our heart. And we have to bridge that distance. Then we can
You
merge.
always, yeah, I vividly remember you often remind us all of this oneness and non-separation, non-duality, which is deeply embedded in the universal philosophy of non-dualism, Advaita, as well as in Wahdatul Wajud of Sufism, which means unity of the existence or unity of the being, and much in the same way as in shamanism. So you bring together all world traditions, all faith traditions, and merge them all into one through your living water for peace. And I congratulate you on organizing the eighth Living Water Leadership Forum. Now, let us please tell us what is your vision on living water jewel that you've designed?
My vision is twofold. As I said, if you wear this water jewel on your heart, you reconnect and restore the connection with yourself and with the water. But then also you will restore the connection with all those who around you wear this water jewel close to their heart. And you will restore the connection with all living beings. I really believe that water from natural water resources has such a healing power that it can restore our connection inside and outside with the water.
Beautiful. Now, with this call of reconnection and reunion of all the beings, all creations, and all human beings, and all essence to the one and only, I would like to conclude this beautiful, stimulating, fruitful, and meaningful conversation today with you, Brigitte Van Baren. And I hope that the eighth Living Peace Leadership Forum, Living Water Leadership Forum, is going to be a great success for not just India, but for humanity at large. I wish you all the best and see you in Rishikesh for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you for inviting me for this interview, and looking forward to see you as young ambassador for Living Peace Projects with the other young ambassadors in Rishikesh. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. So